campfire reminds me of my father. He would have me on his knee near the fireplace. My family gathers up near the fire to enjoy our family quality time in cold days. That sounds so nice. Tell me about it. It makes me feel lucky to be so alive. True dat, bud.
Campfires remind me a whole lot of experience I had as from the Master Emerald. My father told me a lot about my heritage, and my grandfather, his dad, was the original guardian before it was passed down to my dad, then to me. Speaking of heritage, this is exactly what my tale is for tonight. If you think that anything you hold so dear reminds you of the dearly departed, you should think about what your departed was like. Why? Because they have so many skeletons in the closet, just waiting to be discovered. I call this suspenseful story the tale of the murderous pocket knife. One fall day, it was the anniversary of Zach's grandfather's death. He was packing up the stuff his grandfather wanted to have according to his will, when he found a pocket knife. It was so clear and clean that no one has touched it, even used it. Zach suspected that his grandfather used this as self-defense from robbers who were trying to get into his house. But little did he know that knife was a possessive object. One night, Zach and his fiancée were asleep in their bedroom until he woke up from his bed and saw a pocket knife in his nightstand. A voice called Zach's name to kill his fiancée. He tried to ignore it and go back to sleep, but the voice was so tempting that it was difficult not to pay attention. Zach grabbed the pocket knife and completely blacked out. That morning, he woke up to see his fiancée dead. He was so scared that he had to wash the blood off of his hands and that pocket knife. The police came to his house that day and arrested Zach. One day, his dad visited him in jail and told him that the pocket knife his grandfather had was cursed. A few years ago, Zach's grandfather was having a lovely date with his wife until he came across a clean pocket knife. He had no idea of where it belonged or who originally had it, but he decided to keep it in a cave. He decided to keep it in case he needed to defend himself. That night, a voice called the man's name to kill his wife. He couldn't resist that temptation, so Zach's grandmother died. As for his grandfather, he was afraid to go to jail for something he didn't do. So, he committed suicide. Zach asked his dad on the motivation for that pocket knife. He said that he believed that knife was cursed. Legend has it that a hex put a spell on anyone who possesses the cutting object by bringing their loved ones down. In fact, the original owner of that said pocket knife was a longtime criminal who escaped from the police. Instead of going to jail, he decided to go to the witch's home in the woods and have her soul live in the pocket knife. So once he died, his spirit lived on. After a week of being in jail, Zach went home only to find that pocket knife in his kitchen table. He knew that that spirit and the object had to go. So he turned on the fire in the fireplace, took the knife, threw it into the fire, and watched it burn. He thought that the nightmare was over. However, that night, Zach was trying to sleep only to hear that voice telling him that his job was not over just yet. He turned to his side to find a perfectly sharp pocket knife on his nightstand. He grabbed it and tried to throw it away, only to fall down the stairs and stab himself in the heart. He died within a matter of seconds. So now, when you see a pocket knife that was so clean and shiny, be careful, because that object can make your life an unimaginable nightmare.
Whoa. That was scary, yeah.
Oh yeah, I happen to agree.
I don't think I'm gonna go near knives. That's good, Cream.
Man, that story gave me hedgehog bumps.
Yeah, that was great, Knuckles.
Thanks. I don't know. Besides, you don't even have that pocket, whatever that is. Oh, really? You don't believe me? Then say hello to my little friend.
What are you talking about?
Oh my chaos! He got it! Let's get out of here! What? Did you think I really got a pocket knife? I was actually gonna show them my shovel claws. Oh well, I guess it's gonna have to wait for another time.